Good evening and welcome to another edition of the SportWrap show. My name is Jesse Jackson Kauraisa and I'm joined by my co-host Limba Mupetami. Well, it's quite a bit of a still weekend, can we say, in terms of sport activities, because we know the coronavirus pandemic is still there living amongst us and events are actually on hold. But obviously there has been a few movements. You know that the Bundesliga has started, the English Premier League will also start soon, and other leagues are expected to follow suit. So Limba Mupetami will actually take us through to what she did today in the Namibian Sun newspaper.
Well, thank you so much, Jess. There are two things to look out for in today's paper, and that is the upcoming virtual Comrades Marathon. There are 15 Namibians who have registered to take part in the competition, one of the oldest races in Africa at the moment. I spoke to one of the participants, Franz Amakali. He's from the Windhoek Runners Club as well, and he's very much excited to take part in the competition on Sunday. Also, there's another article to look forward to, and that is athletics resuming activities in September. The president of Athletics Namibia is also quite excited to be working towards bringing local athletics back to the community. We have an interview where Jesse also spoke to the CA of the Namibia Sports Commission, Freddie Muya, so please do check that out.
Welcome to the show, Master Muya. It's a pleasure having you here at our studios today. Basically, we do know that sports has been on halt due to the coronavirus pandemic. It's a worldwide thing. We know that sports, obviously, most of the time is a contact sport. It's a contact activity. And now that there is actually a bit of prohibition in some codes and everything, I'm sure sports has suffered a blow, just like many other sectors. Master Muya, as the Chief Administrator of the Namibia Sports Commission, how has your office been affected, or what would you say sport has been affected in Namibia?
Thank you very much, and good evening once more again. Yeah, indeed, it's very unfortunate that yes, the pandemic is affecting the entire world, and sport is not an exception. Yeah, as we know that the entire world, sport is a very big industry. Yes, even though in Namibia we look at it to be very small, but believe me, I think out of this COVID-19, people have realized that sport indeed is a very big industry, because we're affected at the sport industry. Apart from us, also there's also indirect effect that have also happened to SME development in terms of SME, they also rely on sport, and also even the social life of people, social cohesion that we also needed within the society. You need sport. I remember even yesterday, I was telling myself the town is very quiet.
Yes.
You move Saturday, the town is very quiet. Then I was telling my family, I said, you know why? Why the town so quiet? It looks as if there's no Windhoek, as if there's no life in this world. Then I said, without sport, there's no life. So I think it is a lesson to all of us. It is a lesson to all decision makers that we also learn out of the process to say, please, that industry that we are neglecting very well much, it is the industry that can change the livelihood of many people.
Most definitely, you made a quite an important saying, that industry that's being, obviously we do know, and it's no secret that sports is indeed the stepchild of the government in terms of how the budget is allocated and everything. Currently, as we speak, Master Muya, are you happy with the budget that was allocated, or would you have preferred for more?
Yeah, obviously, I remember when I was interviewed first, when we saw a small increase of 20%, I mean, not 20%, 20 million on top of what the ministry received last time. I said, yes, an increase is good, an increase, but believe me, it's only that we say it's good because it did not go down, because I was afraid that because of COVID-19 that it might go down. Yes, we know government have got a lot of competing priorities, but as much as we've got a lot of competing priorities, we also need to look at the merit of sport itself. What does sport do to the society? Yes, we could allocate resources to other industries, but the way we look at sport and we look about the youth, they are the majority. And the youth, then we need to engage the youth. We need the youth to be active. When I look at that budget, believe me, if you go in Europe, that is the salary of one individual.
That's quite true. And so basically that's true. But anyhow, there is nothing else you could do. Basically, that's what the government
could afford.
And you would just wish for more next time. Or
especially when I look about the issue of infrastructure development. I can tell you, I feel a little bit disturbed when I normally look about our Independence Stadium. I go to other countries, look at a country like Lesotho. You go a country like Botswana, just very close, you go to Zambia. I was surprised to see that with that economy of Zambia, they could build such massive, proper infrastructure.
What do you think has been why has it failed here? Why has our infrastructure been so behind in terms of like sports facilities? And that's quite the truth. What's the biggest problem?
I think what we need to do for me is we need to come with a remedy. Let's not just rely on the budget that we get from the ministry, from the Minister of Finance. I believe that there's a need for us to engage our regional councillors, town councils, which I can be honest tell you is I started advocating for that already. Underground, I visited some of the town councils and I lobbied with them and I talked to them. I said, colleagues, if you want your town to develop, you need to have a budget within your coffers to ensure that at least you can also be able to upgrade some facilities in your town, because people are paying rent and taxes to you people, and you want to develop your town. If you just rely on the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Services to come to your town and develop your town, it might take 20 or 25 years.
That's correct. One of the things I also wanted to ask, and I'm sure we have spoken about it before, that's the sports awards. With the coronavirus pandemic now obviously still active and cases are being reported each day, I do remember that Master Muya said that the awards might go ahead, and that could be in December. Has there been changes to what you said, or is it still the same?
Yeah, definitely we are working on the table. I will be presenting this one to the board. Yeah, so because we as management already we set a date for ourselves. We said it's impossible to have the award in October. That is a no-go area. We know when we have to prepare for the award, we normally start preparing in April already. And as I speak now, it's not yet even start preparing for the award. So there's no way my office can be able to host the award in October this year because of the challenge of the COVID-19. And also many of our, federation, they did not go for international games. So we are likely, believe me, to postpone the award either end of the year or beginning of next year, depending on the circumstances that we are going to find ourselves. But that's what is going to happen. I'll advise the board to say, this is the plan, because I need at least 6 months to prepare for the award. And also for me to get involved, to talk to the stakeholders, our sponsors, we need to engage them. And we started engaging them already. We wrote a letter to them to inform them, to say, colleagues, October, we can't manage.
Yeah, it's true. So, and another thing, I think I'm putting you on the spot here, but this is quite a debate or a topic that everyone wants to hear, and it's the Namibia Football Association's saga, the drama that's there, obviously the fights between the NPL. I always wanted to hear what's the Sports Commission stance on this. What's the government stance on this? What do they feel? What do they advocate for during these meetings or anything? Because obviously sometimes it seems that obviously these guys are just basically fighting there alone, and the effort actually to find solutions, which includes also from the government, seems invincible. So I just want to know from Master Muya, what do you think of that?
Yeah, if you look about the hierarchy in terms of sport, we have got the Ministry of Sport, and we have got ourselves being the implementing agency. Then we have got also our sister partner, being the Namibia National Olympic Committee, and then we got umbrella bodies, and we got sport federations. And apart from sport federations, they've got also their own children who are linked to them. If you look about the Namibian Premier League, it's a child that must affiliate to Namibian Football Association. So it means we have got now the act that we govern, that governs our activities. And now NFA have got a constitution that we endorse. So it means now the constitution of their members must be in line with the constitution of their mother body. So that's how the hierarchy of sport happens. Yes, indeed, from the word go, our engagement is with our affiliate, being the Namibia Football Association, because we even fund them. We don't fund the Premier League. We don't fund the first division. We don't fund the second division whatsoever. We fund our affiliates. So our engagement first is with our affiliate, and we've been engaged for quite a number of time. Yes, we could see that our involvement whereby as government and also as the Namibian Sports Commission, whereby we also did some recommendations in terms of the normalization committee that came into the country. You need to understand we were directly also, giving you advices, and that creation came, the normalization committee, which was actually, endorsed and appointed by FIFA, but at least in the process we did some recommendations. Say, no, there is a challenge here, FIFA. Can you come, what advice, what help can you give us? They came up with a normalization committee, which was reporting directly to my office, and also we could also go with them to the ministry. And if you look at the situation currently now, I believe now there's a movement that have happened, because our main target was to have the elective congress that took place on the 22nd of February. Legitimate members were put in place, which we ticked right. So for us, that is the executive committee of Namibian Football Association, and NFA also, not NFA, FIFA, they were present, and we ticked that tick. So now these guys, they need to be given time to transform and do some changes. I believe they need to come at the table now, and at the table and discuss the way forward. Yes, people are taking now their issues out of the country, there's our constitution, ABC. What is going to happen now, believe me, I'm so happy now that we have designed a constitutional framework for all our members. So now, before any case can go out, it must be resolved within. Because if NFA is a member to the Namibian Sports Commission, everything before it goes out, they have to follow that new framework. That's why I'm advocating for that framework. And maybe for your information, everybody, the deadline was last week. But NFA requested for 3 months extension. I got gymnastics requested for 1 month extension, and also Seawater Ingo requested for another 1 month extension. Because everybody, if you play sport in this country, you need to align yourself with that framework, so that at least we can be able to control for the future.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Muya, one last final question is about, we do understand there are sport codes really struggling to get sponsors. We do know the Premier League, the Rugby Premier League, has been without a sponsor for so long. We do know so many codes that are just not able to gain sponsors. And as you said, that sport is very important, and you can see it is a multi-million-dollar industry, especially here. And so in other countries, it's almost close to billions, we can say. So what has the Sports Commission done in order to help these struggling codes, especially with acquiring sponsorship and everything?
Yeah, we do have the Office of the Marketing Department at the Sports Commission that is run by Chalo Chainda. I remember we ran 2 workshops on how to acquire sponsorship. The challenge we have in Namibia is how to approach sponsorship, or also to enter into partnership with possible corporate Namibians. What is required from most of our federation now is training on how to approach corporate Namibia in terms of sponsorship, and also separation of powers, because currently most of the federation, they don't have separation of power between the the executive and the operational officers. Because once they've got that separation of power, the aspect of accountability, that is key, because prudent financial management is needed in an organization for you to be able to get or to secure a sponsor. And also your reporting mechanism, because at times people that got sponsor that comes on board, but you don't have a reporting mechanism. You are not accounting for what the result that possible corporate Namibia have given to you. End of the day, you lose that type of sponsorships. That's what happens. The other aspect is about the aspect of what mileage do you create for that given sponsor. Because I think when you approach sponsors, we don't need to go there like you are asking. At least it's a give and take.
Yes.
They need to understand
what's in it for you.
Yes, they need to understand what is in for them. Not only every time that some people, I remember there was one time, one federation, they say we wrote 48 letters looking for sponsors. You don't tell me you wrote. You need to go there and engage.
And engage.
You cannot just write a letter. You write a letter to me, what I do. I cannot see you, I take a letter, put in the dustbin.
Yeah.
Then you wait for 2 years that I'm still waiting for the response. So those are the issues that we are busy engaging.
Okay. Thank you so much, Master Muya. It has been a privilege having you here.
Yes.
We hope to see more of what you have been doing, because I do understand also that the Sports Commission was busy with the renovation of offices there at the Katutra Youth Complex for priority sport codes. Yes, and I think it's quite a good job from the Sports Commission, something we should really commend.
Definitely. On the 25th, we are opening them.
On the 25th, you're opening them. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Muya. It has been a pleasure.
Pleasure talking to you.
Okay.
Thanks.
That was it from Master Freddie Muya, the Chief Administrator of the Namibia Sports Commission. We know that he is busy doing a lot, plenty there at his office. Well, from me, myself, Jesse Jackson Kauraisa, and Limba Mupetami, thank you for having joined us for this wonderful studio show. Goodbye.